Great day, everyone. This is Jason Santos, and for today, we are going to discuss personal vision and mission, session number 4 under service culture. So let's start this. Here are some of the objectives that we need to cover. Synthesize learning about self-awareness and self-regulation. These things were already covered in our previous discussion, self-awareness and self-regulation. Also, we need to discuss how a concrete mission and vision translate to performance results. To compose a personal mission and vision statement. And then, as always, this is a reminder that all the parts of service culture revolve around the topic of leadership orientation. So, students are expected to show what they have learned against what they would like to achieve, and from there take ownership of their personal development. It was designed to provide directions for them to meet the demands and requirements for success. So first, let us differentiate the two generally, because oftentimes people interchange the terms mission and vision. While when we are still young in our schools, we see this posted everywhere. We see this in our rooms. We see this in the front of our schools. When we already start working, we see this posted in our companies, the mission and vision statement. So now we are going to apply this personally or on a personal level. So generally, again, let's define mission. So when you talk of mission, it defines your purpose. So this is a very deep term. When you talk of purpose, some people reach an old age without knowing what their purpose are. It's a little bit sad, but that's the reality. Okay? And knowing what your purpose is very critical if you want to be successful in life. If you want to do a successful want to make your business very successful, you need to have your own mission statement. This is what will guide you on a daily basis, what you would have to do. Is it aligned in our purpose? Next, you have vision. And when you talk of vision, it extends your mission to an ideal future state. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Those are some of the common questions we ask people, or sometimes we even ask ourselves that question. When you talk of vision, it is an ideal future state. When you say ideal, it is happy. It is a state that everybody desires to be in. Okay, ideal by all its meaning. Okay, and it is take note of the tense future. It is in the future. It's not yet in the present. Okay, that's why you call it a vision. What you see in the end of this journey. Okay, so these things will be covered in our discussion for today, whichever time you're watching this, and we will learn how significant this is in your own personal journeys, your own personal ventures, in not just in the world of business, but in life. Okay, so we have learned in the past discussions the importance of self-awareness and self-regulation, and actually those two statements or those two states also lead to a state which you call as self-determination. So when you say self-determination, it is a process of endorsing one's action at the highest level. I want you to take note of this and understand highest level of reflection. We have learned in self-regulation how you would need to reflect what are some of your flaws, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and make sure that each and every action you make would bring you closer to your strengths and draw you away from your weaknesses. Okay, and when you talk of self-determination, it is associated with a sense of freedom. You feel free. Okay, you don't feel bound. Okay, because you know what what guides you, what motivates you, what are the things that you would have to avoid. In essence, you have this freedom. You know the things that will make you or lead you to success, and that's the beauty of being self-determined. Okay, in building vision statements, self-determination refers to a process of self-discovery. So we will understand this further later on, and it is associated with vision because it is heavily associated with vision because when you talk of self-determination, it refers to a process of self-discovery. You know, being able to determine who you are in the future, okay, or at the future state. So let's talk of values. So what are values? These are means that we have to pay due attention to certain values in order for us to become or reach a self-determination or level of self-determination. So, A, you have to become more self-aware. Okay, if you want to be self-determined, it starts with self-awareness, and that's the very first topic we have discussed. B, you have to make ethical decisions. Okay, you have to make sure that each decision you make conforms with your ethics, with what you consider to be good. Okay, will it do good for the other people who's going to be the recipient of these decisions or actions? Okay, prioritizing our tasks, time management, not being carried away with nonsensical things, things that will not help us become more productive. Okay, and D, developing credibility as a leader. So ultimately, again, the final result of everything that we are discussing in service culture is about leadership. Now, in order for us to achieve a certain level of self-determination, or per se reach a certain destination, reach your vision, do your daily mission, you have to strategically plan. And this doesn't just apply to business, doesn't just apply to organizations, but also to personal, your personal mission and vision. You have to create a plan. Think of it this way: if you are planning to go into a certain location, let's say you are planning to go to Boracay, okay? You don't just wake up one day and say to yourself that, oh, I will be going to Boracay today. It doesn't normally work that way. What you would probably do is you would have to plan, not just days, but not just weeks, but probably months ahead. Okay? How much will I be spending? Which hotel will I be booking? How much pocket money do I need to have? If I'm working, when is going to be my leave? Okay, when will I file my vacation leave? Okay, there are a lot of things that you would have to consider in your plan. And in the same manner, when you want to reach your vision and do your daily mission, you have to have a plan. You need to have a plan. And here are some of the techniques. There are a lot of techniques, but we will just be showing you two. First is what we call the DST plan. And when you say DSTP, it is an acronym that refers to draw, see, think, and plan. It is true that sometimes we need to have a visual map, a guide, okay? Because if we would just keep it in our brains, or we will just think of it, sometimes we tend to lose our focus, or we tend to forget it, okay? But when we draw things, when we write down things, it gets much clearer, okay? And then later on, you can go back to the drawing and say, oh, I forgot something. You can add on it, right? And then you won't have any trouble if your memory fails you, you forget something. You can just look at the plan, okay? That's the beauty of putting everything in black and white, okay? Or having it outlined, okay? After drawing, you will now see. You will have a clearer picture of what your vision is, which destination you would like to go. Okay? In order for me to reach a certain direction, what should I do on a daily basis? And then you would now think. Okay? Draw, see, think, and then you now start your plan. Okay. So if I would like to become an accountant in 2023, what should I be doing starting today? So you can start by putting in your daily guides or daily activities, like, okay, I need to make sure that I pass these subjects. I need to submit all the assignments that are required in each subject, so on and so forth. Another form of strategic plan is what we call the PDCA, or the plan, do, check, and act. This is actually being used by organizations or businesses. In fact, in my previous company, we have the what we call as PODCNIC, or PODCNIC. Plan, organize, do, check, and then I forgot the other acronyms or other letters. But it is a variation of the PDCA, or plan, do, check, act. And what you would notice is that this is a cycle, okay? Because first you would have to plan, okay? What are we going to do? My plan is to become an accountant. My plan is to go to United States, to migrate there, okay? My plan is to become a doctor, okay? And then let's do what we said. So what are we going to do? Okay? Identify who is responsible. Is it you? Is it going to be another person? What are the procedures, training, so on and so forth. Again, this can be applied in organizations, and we can actually apply it to ourselves. And then once we reach a certain point, we are going to reflect and ask ourselves, have we met our expectations? Let's say if you are in an organization and your plan is to increase sales. Okay, if we want to increase sales, what do we do? Okay, let's start to offer new products. At the end of the day, we check, have we met our expectations? When we offered the new burgers, the new soft drinks, were we able to increase the sales? If yes, that's good. What are we going to do? Act. Do we need to change, or we maintain, or where do we go from here? Did it increase our sales? No. Okay, what do we need to do? What do we need to change? So you go back to the drawing board. So again, this is a cycle. If you've failed at something, it does not mean that it ends there. Or if you succeed on something, it does not mean that it ends there. You would have to go back to planning stage. Where do I go next? What do I need to do next? Okay? And this is a cycle that has to be followed consistently, okay, in order for us to reach our ultimate vision and mission. When you are trying to answer your mission, you can actually ask yourselves a couple of questions. Do you know why you are here? Do you know what your mission is? And have you ever wondered what your mission is? Again, I would like to reiterate that many people reach an old age or a certain age in life where they would tell themselves, I don't know what my mission is in this world, or I don't know why I was created. Why was I brought into existence? There are a lot of ways in order for you to know what your mission is. Okay, and we are going to tackle that in the next slides. One book that I would like to recommend is The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. It's a very beautiful book. It helps you know what your mission in life is. Okay, and when you know what your mission is, you don't waste time. Okay, you don't waste opportunities as they come. So, in order for you to do that, one small activity or little activities you can do is to set goals. And this is also existent in organizations or companies. We have goal settings, we have team buildings, we have planning, organizational planning, so on and so forth. All of those are very similar to goal setting. Goal setting is a process by which we identify our goals. Okay? When we know our goals, we know what direction to take in order to fulfill them. Going back earlier, I want to become an accountant. You don't just wake up one day as an accountant, right? You need to have a set of goals in order to be there. Like first, I need to graduate my second year. Third, or next, I need to graduate this year. I need to graduate the course completely. Okay? Next, the next goal is I need to pass the licensure exam. Okay? In order for me to become a CPA. And then the next goal is to find a job in a well-known accountancy firm. Okay? So on and so forth. So, in order for you to reach a certain point, a certain destination, you need to have a set of goals, different goals in between them. Okay? From a task-oriented perspective, goal setting gives you a long-term vision and short-term motivation. So, the beauty of having a goal is you keep your long-term vision because it is in the future, and you keep yourself motivated by having short-term goals. Okay? Because if your goal is set in 10 years or 20 years, sometimes people will feel down, or they will feel lazy, or they will feel hopeless because it's a very long time. I don't know if I'm going to be successful or not. Okay? One way for you to know that you are in the right direction is to have a set of goals. And when you see that those goals are being realized little by little, then it gives you motivation. We have understood this in our previous topic, the importance of motivating people or motivating yourself. And then now we have this SMART. I'm sure most of you already know this. We already know this acronym. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So, sometimes we know the term SMART, but we do not know how to apply those in goals writing or writing goals. So, here are some of goals, and I would like for you to identify which of these 7 goals are SMART goals. You can pause this video and then come back once you have identified which ones are the SMART goals. Okay? So, if you already have identified which ones are the SMART goals, then let's continue the video. Let's try to identify which ones are SMART and which are not SMART. So, number 1, I will graduate magna cum laude in 4 years' time. So, is this SMART? Yes. This is specific. Why? Because he or she knows what he or she wants, which is to become a magna cum laude. When? Time bound. 4 years. Okay? So it's very specific and it's realistic, of course. in 4 years time. Okay, so that's smart. Number two, I want to lose weight. So this goal is not it's not smart. Why? Because when you say lose weight, how much weight are you planning to lose? Is it 5 kilos? Is it 10 kilos? Okay. Um, is it measurable? No. You have not placed any form of measurement here. Is there an element of time? No. I want to lose weight when? Is it on 2022, on 2023? You see? So this goal is very vague. It's very general. It's not smart. Number three, I will commit myself to studying to get a minimum 89% grade point average in all of my subjects. So this one is very specific. Okay? And there's an element of time in it. Okay? Because when you talk of grade point average, you are talking of either a semester or one grading period. Okay? When do you get your final grades? It's at the end of the term. So you don't just specify. You have not specified it here, but it is implied when. Okay, when is the time? Okay, I want to travel. It's not smart. Travel where? Which location? Okay. How are you going to travel? By land, by sea, by air? When? Is it next year? After 5 years? After the pandemic? So this is not a smart goal. Next, I want to be rich in 8 years by starting my own food business, attending as much of the business and management seminars that will be scheduled from this day forth. So this, although there are a little more details that we can add to make it much more specific, is an acceptable form of a SMART goal. Okay, because the time element is here, 8 years. Is it realistic and specific? Yes. He or she will attend seminars and workshops to help him from this day forward. Okay, so this is SMART. 6, I want to be successful. Successful is a subjective term. What I may consider as successful may not be considerably successful for you. It is subjective again. So you have to place here, what's your definition of success? Is it earning 6 digits figure salary, or for you it is successful to be in a job that will give you salary every 15th and 30th? So you have to be very specific here. And then 7, I will start doing my research paper by 7 tonight and finish it by 7 p.m. tomorrow. Actually, this one can be smart, and it can be not smart depending on the time constraints, because sometimes when you look at the 7 tonight and finish it at 7 p.m. tomorrow, we may argue that the only time that they will have to do their research paper is after 7, because they have classes from morning and afternoon. So the only vacant time he or she has is from 7 today up until tomorrow. So it is justifiable with our current modality of learnings. We have remote learning, and people now learn through the use of communication tools online through the internet, so it can be achievable. Okay, so this can also be smart depending on the scenario. So goals are set at 3 levels. You create the big picture of what you would want to do in your life. You break them into small or short-term targets that corresponds to steps that you must accomplish to hit your goals, and then start working to achieve them. When we know what our goals are, we pretty much know what our mission is. So that's the beauty of having your daily goals. Okay? If you know what your daily goals are and if you look at them, you more or less have an idea where do you really want to go? What's your mission in life? Knowing your purpose gives more meaning to your life. So again, SMART, it has to be specific, precise, tangible, concrete, and measurable. If goals or targets, objectives are the arrows. Okay? If our target is the goal, then our objectives are the arrows that help us reach the target and demonstrate a certain level of mastery. And then as for your mission statement, identify what are your past successes, because this will give you an idea where you are good at. I have received an award in leadership, or I have received this trophy in basketball. So more or less, when you see your past successes, you would have an idea where you are good at. Okay? Also, look at your core values. What do you value most? Is it time? Is it money? Is it fame, glory, etc.? So, if you would look at your core values, that would give you an idea how you would write down your mission statement. Identify contributors. Who are the people that will help you reach your mission? Okay. Who among your friends? What do they do? We have this saying that, tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. Okay. If you see that your circle are a group of very successful lawyers, teachers, then most likely, if you hang around with them, if you get advice from them, most likely you would be on the same path because you are surrounded by such people. Okay? Identify your goals. We have talked about this. And then you can now start writing your mission statement. A personal mission statement is a powerful document that expresses your personal sense of purpose, your meaning, and reason for being. And then when you write down your vision statement, you can do that by answering the following. So 1, what are the 10 things you most enjoy doing? This can be all linked in your hobbies, in your favorite pastimes. What do you enjoy doing without pay? Okay, where people wouldn't have to force you to do. What 3 things must you do every single day to feel fulfilled in your work? Okay, what are the things that you are doing in order to be fulfilled? Is it drinking a cup of coffee in the morning? Is it doing your personal exercise, saying your prayers? Those things. Okay, so sometimes those things will help you start your day. Okay, will help you feel more fulfilled in your work. What are your 5, 6 most important values? So you write them down, and then when you look at your values, you would have an idea what's your vision statement. If you never had to work another day in your life, how would you spend your time instead of working? This is a very beautiful question. If you were given a chance not to work, what rather else would you be doing? Do you want to be a singer, a dancer, an athlete, a vlogger? There are lots of things that we would rather spend time instead of working. Okay? And that will also give you an idea what should be your vision. What do you love to do? Okay? 5, when your life is ending. Okay? Actually, I'm doing activities when we were still doing this face-to-face. There's this Who Will Cry When You Die activity and My 80th Birthday activity. And but the bottom line of that activity or those activities is that when your life is ending, what will you regret not doing, seeing, or achieving? We all have these things. We call that the bucket list, right? before I die, I wish I would have gone to this place or traveled to this country, seen the pyramids myself, um, be able to see your son or your daughter's wedding. Okay, many things. Okay, and those can be contributory to your vision statement. Okay, when you look in the end of your life, what would you regret if you have not done this or that? If you would have that answer, you can put that in your vision statement. What strengths have other people commented on about you and your accomplishments? Okay, we have done this in the self-awareness activity. Let's say other people tell you you're good at drawing, you're smart, you're very athletic. Okay, so those are the strengths that some people point out about you. Maybe you should also look at them. What weaknesses have other people commented on about you, and what do you believe are your weaknesses? If you know what your weaknesses are, yes, you can work on your weaknesses. Or you could rather spend your time on your strengths so you are not wasting your time. Okay? A personal vision statement defines our core values and how we apply these values to our mission. And finally, I would like to leave this quote with you. There is no greater gift you can give or receive than to honor your calling. It's why you are here, why you were born, and how you become most truly alive by Oprah Winfrey. All right, so in conclusion, I would like you to write down your own vision and mission statements as for your assignments. All right, thank you so much. I hope you have learned something from this lesson. And to God be all the glory until our next lesson.